Hello and welcome to the program. I am Bukola Koka, and we start off immediately. As chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, is urging media organizations to engage with political parties as well as their aspirants and provide an in-depth report of their activities. He stated this during a consultative meeting with media executives ahead of the Edo and Ondo State off-cycle governorship elections in Abuja. Professor Yakubu explains that this will further strengthen the nation's democracy and enhance transparency in the electoral process. The Adamawa State Command of the Nigerian Police have arrested 58 suspects involved in robbery and kidnappings in the state. Parading the suspects at the police headquarters in Yola, the Commissioner of Police, Dankombo Morris, says the arrest is the result of a synergy between the police, other security agencies and the public. In the meantime, the Nigerian Army, also working in collaboration with vigilantes, has eliminated a terrorist whom it says disguises as police officers in Sokoto State to perpetrate heinous crimes. A statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Major General Onyema Wachuku, says the extremist who was killed on Wednesday, the 20th of March, had often impersonated a police officer to deceive and kidnap unsuspecting victims. And starting off with stories covering the North Central, many persons have been feared killed in Ugobi community of Akpa local government area of Benue State following a coordinated attack on the community since Wednesday, into the early hours of today, Thursday, the 21st of March, 2024. A community leader, Mr. Eric Amodu, while speaking with our correspondent Pius Angbo via phone, says the threat of attack on the community has been rife for over a week now, but the violent attack actually started last night, during which many people were killed.
It's not just today, it started long before now. Since the beginning of this year, we've been facing attack. But the beginning of this week, it changed dimension. And on Tuesday, it entered a different dimension when they came and laid siege in all the four corners of the community and began to attack. Till yesterday evening at about 6 p.m., they also came in their hundreds, in large number, and began to open fire. And an open fire. Meanwhile, the Kogi community is just a stone throw away from Kogi. Kogi, where we have a military camp stationed there. No response from them. Nobody is repelling them. And these people are busy having a field day, killing, burning of houses and everything that you know that defines havoc. And this morning again at about 8 a.m., it was seen clearly that they have taken over the four corners of the community, and at exactly 8:05, they opened fire again and began to attack, burning houses. 2 hours counting, no single security agency from anywhere came to our people's rescue. Nobody. Right from Uboko to Asaba, Akite, Inyapu, Olegoba, Ijaha, down to Kogi, every community there have been deserted, leaving only Ubobi among the few that is standing. And so if they attack Ubobi and they finish what they are doing right about now, it means from that axis, there's no community standing again. And as we speak, no security agency have visited, and the killing is still ongoing. The only person I've not even called is the Commissioner of Police, which they are about to make the number available for me. I've called the honorable member representing us, is not picking. I've called the senator, is not picking. And I have called the chairman of the local government, his number is not even connecting entirely. Nobody. The military is just a stone throw away. They have a camp in Kogi. It's just a stone throw away from Ugo. Yet, if they are claiming nobody informed them, nobody called them, how about the gunshot since on Tuesday? Are they not hearing the gunshot? the intensified gunfire that has been coming right since on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and today, they are all aware, and they cannot claim ignorance of the gunshot. It's not just a single shot. It's not just a single shot. When you know when somebody is at war, that's the kind of gunshot you hear, and that's the kind of gunshot that has been raining since on Tuesday. Nobody, except the security agency that we reach out to, and there have been no response for them. I'm trying to reach out to the Commissioner of Police right now. I'm here to get the contact. Nobody from the state government is absolutely nothing. The last time I spoke with the chairman, he said they are going to Makurdi to see him, and it has been like that since the beginning of this year. But since last week, it has been hell. It has been no manner of killing.
The voice you heard was that of a community leader from Akpa local government area in Benue State, speaking with our correspondent, providing details on the attack that started on Wednesday night. In Benue State still, the government has impounded 15 trailer loads of illegally mined lithium from communities in Turan Council ward of Kwande local government area, where the owners fled, leaving behind their boys who could only speak the Hausa language. The arrest follows a tip-off on the loading of lithium, barite and lead, which are largely removed from farmlands without a mining license and recourse to safety rules of environmental impact assessment, followed by insecurity and the sacking of host communities.
No hiding place for these trucks laden with lithium, barite and lead, and heading for Cameroon. They were stopped in their tracks earlier in the week and impounded by officers of the Benue State Police Command, following a tip-off from local sources about the activities of illegal miners in Turan Council Ward down to the hill towards the border with Cameroon in Kwande local government area. The men behind the wheels and illegitimate business took to the hills, leaving their boys behind to defend their involvement. Investigations are now ongoing as the Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of the state arrives to take over the matter. Back in the hinterlands, there are more illegally exploited mining sites with the extracted minerals waiting for transportation. Activities of miners have been linked to many of the security issues in Kwande.
Our activities as a committee is to making sure that the proper documentation, the proper legal requirement is being fulfilled by the miners before they carry out their activities. Don't forget, the activities being carried out in the state have a negative impact on the state if not properly watched. And one of the issues is insecurity. We've just confirmed here that at this mining site and the neighboring environment here, nobody is staying here because of the insecurity.
You know, where there are issues of illegal mining, you always have security challenges, because the aim is always to displace the people so that they will have access to their illegality. The issue is majorly about these armed herders who always come to strike and go. But we have been doing our best to see to it that we'll push them away.
The people of Kwande local government tie a lot of problems affecting residents to mining activities, from food insecurity, public safety and environmental degradations, and displacement from their homes.
There's a great negative environmental impact in this area. The farmlands have been wasted, and the start stream there is a major source of living water for the people. We use it for domestic and even for washing and other things, but the water has been polluted due to illegal mining activities, and then the presence of insecurity and social vices here.
A representative of one of the mining companies defends its activities with claim It has government-approved license for its work, in addition to providing some social amenities for host communities.
We drill boreholes for the community and the hospital and the church for the community. Those were the 5 things that were in the MOU. So far, he has drilled 4 boreholes for the community, and the boreholes are still under construction.
The Benue state government says it's interested in legitimate mining that puts safety of residents first. Nevertheless, it vows to hunt down illegal miners who are creating insecurity, even while carrying out illegitimate business activities.
Citizens of Plateau State have been assured of good governance through the provision of projects and infrastructure that have direct bearing on people's lives, especially those in rural areas. Governor Caleb Mutfwang made this assertion at the commissioning of the shopping complex and motor park in Bukuru, Jos South local government area, which is one of the numerous projects embarked upon by the Implementation Transition Committee chairmen across the 17 local government areas of the state. Towards the fulfillment of government's promise to enhance security of life and property of citizens, particularly in the rural communities of Plateau State, various projects have been executed across the 17 local government areas of the state. Some of them include the shopping complex and motor park constructed by Jos South Local Government Authority to bring about commercial activity and ensure the safety of travelers. At the inauguration of the project, Governor Caleb Mutfwang assures of his administration's determination to conclude work on numerous uncompleted projects left by the immediate past government.
Now, this project is significant because first and foremost, it brings law and order into the management of vehicles and other vehicles generally of all categories. Now, when you bring law and order, it also enables you to collect revenue. Therefore, I believe that this project is going to add value to the internally generated revenue of Jos South.
In continuation of the infrastructure renewal drive, the state's Ministry of Local Government is on an assessment tour of the work of Transition Committee chairmen. Several projects ranging from the construction of a sporting facility, rural electrification through solar energy, construction of rural roads, as well as the equipping of primary health care centers are ongoing in various communities.
What we saw on ground was marvelous. They have done excellently well within the span of few months that they have been in office. We started with that of Shandam. When I went to Shandam, I thought he was the ultimate because I saw a lot of renovations going on. And we visited the Longama. As you know, the chieftaincy is under this ministry as well. So when we went round, the work was done marvelously well. We went to Mikang. If you go to Mikang, you will see a hotel that is that of city standard that is coming up built by the local government. And it was even there that we discovered that on the area of sports, he has done excellently well too.
One of the Transition Implementation Committee chairmen in charge of Kwampan local government area attests to being able to improve the living condition of his people.
As a local government, we've been able to solve a lot of issues. One, in terms of infrastructure. When we came, our traditional council doesn't have an office, a resident. We tried to build, or we have built it to 95%. We don't have a guest house. The guest house has been vandalized. We renovated it, equipped it, furnished it, and then we now put solar.
The provision of these infrastructure projects, no doubt, is needed at this time to encourage commercial viability in the rural areas, which will also go a long way to improve the quality of life of the people. And still to come on the program, we'll bring you up to speed with the impact of the strike called by NASU and SANO on the Federal University of Technology in Minna. That's after this time out. Join us again. Welcome back. Academic and non-academic unions in federal universities are seeing through their 7-day warning strike in protest against salaries of members withheld under the no work, no pay policy of the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari. A visit to the Federal University of Technology, Minna, Niger State, shows a handful of members gathered with placards at the office of the Vice Chancellor of the institution who received their protest letters.
We have made demands. We have engaged the government in discussion, telling them, giving them suggestions on how well they can equip our laboratories with recent state-of-the-art equipment, so that the student will have the knowledge. But you can't expect the student to have anything for us to impart anything on the student with an obsolete equipment that doesn't even work again, or a chemical that that cannot give you a better result. You understand? So that is why we are protesting. We've done all this. We've engaged the government severally, but the government is still not doing anything. Most recently, and the most painful part of it, is this neglect of our backlog of arrears. Government is owing us 5.5 months. If the president will come out and say, we are forgiving, we've given a waiver, we're going to give you part of the money, why should somebody out there, just decide to pick one person out of 4 university-based unions and neglect the others?
The Vice Chancellor commends them for approaching the situation with maturity.
The union executive are very responsible. They know what it takes to go on strike, and then the implication of going on strike as per the academic activities on campuses. So we have been working with them, and I'm very sure that it will have a negative impact on our academic activities. Everything will go on smoothly, and I'm sure they will see reason why they have to sub-pedal, knowing fully well that the government is a listening government. They will listen to them. And I'm sure as at the time the results will start coming from government, they will know, they will be surprised.
In the meantime, students are appealing to the government to speed things up with the union to avoid damaging impact on their learning activities in the institution.
It has been as regular. I don't think the strike it's not that official yet. Yes, towards students, because it has not been affecting us. Yeah, we're just flowing with it.
We, the students as well, are really feeling the negative impacts of this strike because it's affecting us, and we have done nothing to deserve it. So please, we are pleading to the federal government to call the NAT, call SANU, and call other people in this strike to call the strike to an end, so that academic activities will continue smoothly without interruption.
The Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak has flagged off the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project, a 6-year, $500 million food security program supported by the World Bank and the federal government. The project, which is expected to be located in 15 states of the Federation, has Kwara as the 5th among those ready for the implementation that will ensure food security in the state. The $500 million livestock, he said, will ensure food availability, especially in the 15 states earmarked.
Over the past 5 years, we've focused on the development of livestock in the livestock sector in Kwara State. And Kwara State has a comparative advantage in all areas of livestock production, particularly in beef and dairy production. Most importantly, livestock provides a form of disposable income and wealth for families with little access to financial services, and remains a major form of financial instrument for our family. Now we're talking about financial inclusion and improvement in standard of living, and also improving our GDP in the state. This is why our focus has been on developing, upgrading, and transforming the rural economies in terms of livestock development and directly impacting on smallholder farmers and reducing also farmer-herder conflict. We aim to ensure that our smallholder livestock farmers become commercially oriented so that they can respond to the growing demand for quality food from the urban centers, climatic change, fluctuation in global economy, and also ensure that families have adequate supply of animal proteins and improved livelihood.
The Federal Ministry of Agri and Food Security is implementing this project as a project, and it's a World Bank project, 500 million USD World Bank project. We have 15 states that are participating, and because of our Honorable Minister, Senator Abubakar Kyari, because of his zeal to improve the livestock sector as the Minister of Agri, he has mandated us to speed up the implementation of the project. We are here because Kwara is one of the states that are implementing the project, so we are here to see their implementation status and to see how we can move the project faster.
The Kogi state government has promised to address the causes of violence against women and girls through a viable empowerment program. The State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Mrs. Fatima Momo, stated this during a seminar organized for women through the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development. She said the state government will engage women on viable empowerment programs and skill acquisition that will lift them out of poverty.
It's still a month-long celebration for women across the country, and in Kogi State, in north-central Nigeria, the women's celebration is themed Accelerating Gender Equality through Economic Empowerment. The Kogi State government is looking into ways to tackle the causes of violence against women and the girl child, and one of the strategies it has chosen to adopt is economic empowerment. This, according to the state government, has informed the reason for this seminar.
The Kogi State Empowerment Program will focus on supporting self-reliance and internal capacity, genuine investment in the growth of women and well-being of women and their families. Empowering women is not just about justice, but a prerequisite for emphasizing sustainable development.
Another approach that's sure to boost education and enlightenment is to help women with financial support and provide free education to the girl child. This position is advanced by the spokesperson for the Forum of Wives of Commissioners in Kogi State.
We need more women to be educated. We need more women in future to be governors. We need more women in future to be presidents. We need more women in future to be ambassadors. And by the special grace of God, we can only achieve that with your help.
Speakers call on the state government to formulate policies and legislations that will permanently end all forms of gender-based violence.
Nigeria also falls into the group of countries with the highest gender inequality in human development. This is a report of the UNDP 2016. There are numerous economic empowerment benefits when we choose to empower women and achieve gender equality.
On her part, wife of the Kogi State Governor promises that the government of Usman Ododo is poised to empower women in all local government areas with the required tools.
Investing in women economy lead to economic growth and greater social development. But today, our women are still faced with barriers to economic empowerment, such as education, employment, healthcare, among others. We must work towards creative environment with women and children to empower them to pursue their dreams free from discrimination. By so doing that, we shall one day be free from oppression.
Going forward, the women here are expected to translate the knowledge gleaned from this seminar into tangible economic gains.
And that's it on today's edition of the program. This edition of Newsroom series covering Nigeria's North Central will be back again tomorrow with another. I am Bukola Koka. Bye for now.